Hey everybody, my name's Thomas Manuel. I am a missionary in Guatemala. I also happen to be the offspring of Father John Manuel. That's just an aside. I want to share with you all a little bit about who I am, the mission in Guatemala, and what I do in that mission. First of all, who I am. Obviously, I'm Thomas Manuel. My wife, Elizabeth Manuel, is a missionary with me, along with our 3-month-old Vasily. They're at home right now, so they won't be with us in the videos. We became missionaries at the beginning of last year in 2019, and we've lived our whole year in Guatemala and in southern Mexico, where we serve in the Orthodox mission of Guatemala. What is this mission? It's a group of indigenous Guatemalans that came into the Orthodox Church around 2009. Currently, estimates are around 20 to 25,000 faithful in around 150 communities served by 5 clergymen. So we're talking lots of very faithful people excited about the faith, very few clergy to work with these people and really bring them into the faith. So we have a whole lot of work to do at all times. The last year in Guatemala, we were moving and going constantly. I don't remember a weekend of just relaxation and sitting around, because we had to go visit one community and then another community. On the other side of the country, we had a catechism conference here and seminary classes there. It was wonderfully crazy. And currently, we are not in Guatemala because our lovely baby boy Vasily was born in March, and we came back to the States for our firstborn. We were a little anxious about being abroad in a village 3 hours from a hospital, and so we decided to come back, and then lo and behold, Miss Corona decides to appear, and we have been stranded or held back, but it's been a beautiful blessing because we've been able to adjust with our little baby, and we will, God willing, be returning to Guatemala as soon as things calm down to a point where we can return, because the virus is not only here, it's also there in Guatemala, and they are also on a lockdown. So I wanted to tell you a little bit today about what do I personally do in the mission in Guatemala. What is my main role and function? And that is primarily as a teacher. We have a small seminary in the village we live in. We live in a small village called Aguacate, which in Spanish means avocado. And yes, everybody asks, are there avocados in your village? Yes, there are avocados. We can walk out of the street onto the street, which is dirt, and look up, and there are trees with avocados on them. They're called mountain avocados. Anyway, I digress. It's a wonderful small village in the middle of nowhere. Lots of days we don't have water or electricity, or both. Those are the worst days. But it's a beautiful situation. We live at the seminary on the 3rd floor. The seminarians live on the 1st floor. And we also live, there's a clinic there with doctors that come from the local capital. And we also have the vicar, the main priest of the area, and he's in charge of the cathedral there. So there's the cathedral attached. So we have a cathedral, we have a seminary, a clinic, we have missionaries, we have priests, and we have doctors, all in one big facility, and we eat meals all together. And in this environment, I am one of the teachers. And for the last year, I've been offering classes to the 12 seminarians that we have at the San Andrés el Apóstol Seminary, El Seminario de San Andrés el Apóstol. You put seminary first in Spanish. St. Andrew the Apostle Seminary. And for the last year, it's been all about taking a curriculum that has been blessed by the Metropolitan, the Archbishop of Mexico City, Athenagoras, and developing the courses and offering the courses to the seminarians. So a lot of times it's been, here, Thomas, is a description of, we need you to teach a class on Christian theology and church history. Okay, I have a course description and nothing else. So we have to take texts that we know of and translate them into Spanish. We have to take lessons and develop them and put them into Spanish and to a level of, for the seminarians so that they can learn. And it's about, in total, a 3-year process for the seminary once we get things running. Because right now, we're in development stage. It takes about a month to put a whole class together. Not just one lesson. We're talking a class with about 12, 15 lessons. It takes about a month. It's a lot of work, but it's been a wonderful experience. Right now you see me here at St. Nicholas. This has been my work office for the last month. At first I was a little loath to give classes via Skype, but for the last month I've been doing just that. And about twice or 3 times a week I set up my little tripod with my MacBook, and I have my lesson on here because I have class coming up very soon, and I offer a lesson to the seminarians via Skype. It's a bit of a challenge at times, being that it's given in another language and we're so far away and it's hard to actually communicate sometimes, but it's been a beautiful experience to be teaching here, and that's what I've been doing for the last month, and that's what I'll be continue to doing. We're finishing a class on church history, and pretty soon we'll be starting a class on the book of Revelation, because there is a lot of people in Guatemala that have a lot of fun ideas of what the book of Revelation says and doesn't say, and so we're having a nice detailed class explaining our Orthodox Christian understanding of Revelation. So that's what I do briefly. I will be with you for 2 more videos, I believe. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've learned a little bit about the mission field, and I will see you next time with more fun information about the mission in Guatemala.